that line actually refers to those walls right over here. And I'm finally going to explain it. So, built on water. Why is the official phrase of Madrid built on water? It's kind of ironic because you should know that Madrid is the only capital city in Europe, in Western Europe, that is not built around a great body of water. Right? Because it tends to make sense that capitals are built around water because it accommodates trade and such. Madrid, this tiny little river over there, guess what? It dries up in the summertime. Yeah, not really a big body of water, not going to accommodate any kind of trade or commerce. So why? Why was Madrid called built on water? Well, that's because when Mohammed came here, when the Moors came here and created this Tupian outpost, there was a natural spring here. And this natural spring served as a source of drinking water for the entire little town at the time. And then walls of fire. So, you know, you're young, you're watching those prehistoric cartoons, and you see those guys, you know, going around, and they take two rocks together, and they rub them, they make fire, and then they're cooking their meat on the fire. And then, I know I did, you know, us girls, go out, and I was like, ooh, two rocks, and I took the rocks, and I rubbed them together, and there was no fire. Yeah? Anyone tried it? Anyone succeeded in making fire with two rocks? Yeah? Yeah? No, I don't think so. Men tend to know this. Women, they don't tell us. Why did the two rocks not make fire? Yes. Oh, good. Because the rocks have to be made of flint. They have to be made of a special type of material in order to create sparks. And these walls are, in fact, made of flint. So what does this mean? This means that when the Moors were attacked by the Christians, when arrows were thrown at the walls and stones were thrown at the walls, the contact that it used to make with these city walls used to create all of these sparks, making it look like the walls were made of fire. So that is why the official phrase of Madrid is built on water with walls of fire. So as I said, the Muslims, they came here, they built this small little outpost to keep an eye on the Christian kingdoms north of the mountains. Everything south of the mountains was Al-Andalus. Al-Andalus, the famous Muslim kingdom. It inspired the naming of the south of Spain, Andalusia. Yes. So, Al-Andalus, really, really fascinating place, okay? First of all, a really enlightened place. I told you it bred a lot of scientists, a lot of architects. Actually, it really influenced the language. Our very famous Hola comes from Wallah. What does Wallah mean? God. It means for God. Something else, Ojalá means hopefully, an expression that's used quite a lot. It comes from Inshallah. That means if God wants it. So you get a lot of Arabic influence in the Spanish language. Also, you know this very famous form of dance that I'm not going to try and imitate because I'm crap? Yes, flamenco. Flamenco actually is a remnant of Arabic dancing, right? It's based in Arabic dancing. If you guys are interested, actually, we don't run this tour, but there is, I have discounts for flamenco shows in a place called Las Carboneras. It's right in the center. Beautiful, beautiful. Our discounts are 23 euros with a drink included. So just ask me about that later. Anyways, flamenco. What's really cool about flamenco is that it's an improvised form of dance, right? This means that it's the musician that follows the dancer and not the other way around. So the dancer, she comes out onto stage and she can do whatever she wants. She can go this way, she can go that way, I don't know, she can bend down on 4 knees if she wants. You know? And then the musician, he's the one that has to change his music to her. So yes, that's flamenco. As I said, lots of scientists, architects, lots of writers too. So the biggest library in Al-Andalus was actually in the town of Córdoba. This library, it had 600,000 books in it. The biggest library in the Christian kingdoms, can I get a guess? Huh? Had 400 books in it. 400 versus 600,000 books. A little bit in a difference in value of education between the two kingdoms, right? Finally, Al-Andalus, it was famous for being an extremely tolerant place. So even now, you know, we talk about Jews, Christians, and Muslims, conflict in the Middle East, not always such a happy story. In Al-Andalus, Jews, Christians, and Muslims, they lived together in peaceful harmony. The Muslims, they still dominated society, right? But they treated their minorities much, much better than the minorities were treated in the Christian kingdoms, and they actually allowed the Jews and the Christians to keep their statues, keep their synagogues and their churches, and to keep practicing their religion, their faith, as they wished. That's because Islamic law recognizes the close relationship between the three faiths, and it specifically states that the people of the book, so the people who follow a book, have to be protected. So not only did they not go and persecute their minorities, they actually protected them. And it's for this reason that when the Reconquista happened, it's a little bit of a tragedy that they totally tore the kingdom apart. And as we saw before, Reconquista, the Christians, they were not some tolerant people at all. So Madrid actually fell to Christian rule in 1085. The last city to fall to Christian rule was Granada. Granada, where there's the famous Alhambra, probably considered the most Muslim, Arabic-inspired city. 1492, I have mentioned this date before because something else happened in 1492. Very important date. You know, Americans? Yeah. In 1492, Christopher Columbus discovers America, first Spain. So, it's a very important date in Spanish history, not only because, Columbus sails to America, but also because in 1492, Granada falls to Christian rule, and this indicates that all of Spain is officially Christian. The Jews are all expelled from Spain. Spain is united into the country that we know of it today. So this is 1492. Smart date to remember to go home to your families and friends. We're actually going to go up the hill, up the stairs so we avoid traffic, and onto one more stop, one stop and a half before I break. Just right before you leave, check out this side of this cathedral because we're going to go look at the other side, and I want you guys to tell the difference.
It would take me over an hour.
But it would go then?
Yeah. Because she's waiting to go to school.
Okay, guys. So I told you, you saw the other end, you saw the church from that side over there, right? And now you're seeing it from over here. It's looking a little different, isn't it? I mean, it was yellow over there. Now we're getting a little bit of gray over here. And actually, when we're going to go into the other side, we're going to see that it's blue and it looks even different. Why? Because this church was commissioned to be built. It's called the Cathedral of the Almudena. Commissioned to be built under Philip II. Guess when they actually finished building it? 1993. I was alive and kicking in 1993. Yeah, so you'll notice that this church, they have a mix of all different kinds of architecture to it because all of the kings, they wanted to add something. So on that side you get neo-romantic, here you have some neo-gothic, and then on the front you get some neo-classic. So it's wonderful, it's a church filled with neos. Neo-church. One more stop.
Sí, quítalo.
Venga, tío.
Hoy.
Que me he equivocado.
que era un buen tour.
Y regresaron al Palacio Real, que está justo detrás de este edificio. Y cuando la carroza del rey pasaba justo
Claro, José Domínguez, que no vino.
Just this last bit, those stairs and although you must remember, in 2005, there's no way that I'm going to tell you this. Bueno, eso me...
Are we waiting for people still? Some people taking their Spanish time. Okay. So right now we are on Plaza de la Villa. This is actually considered the most important square in the city, and it's called Square of the City, Plaza de la Villa. Considered the most important square in the city because this over here used to be the town hall. The town hall up until 2007, now the town hall has been built to Plaza de Cibeles. Guess what? It's another example of Spanish time. Not as impressive as our cathedral over there, but it was commissioned to be built under Philip II. Where is Philip II? Because when he moved the capital to Madrid, he said a capital needs three things, right? It needs a town hall, it needs a cathedral, and it needs a prison. Most essential things in a capital. So he commissioned this to be built. Didn't get built until, where's my loser king? Philip IV. Philip IV IV? You sat down really quickly. Yeah, I'm sorry, you're kind of my loser king. So Philip IV, he saw the end of this being built, but this was still all under the Habsburg era, and you can actually tell that this building has very Habsburg-like architecture from Austria. It is similar architecture to what you will see in Plaza Mayor, because Plaza Mayor was also built during this era. What you can see characteristic is the very pointy towers and the very slanted roofs. Why would slanted roofs be useful in Austria? Snow. Because of snow. We get much snow in Madrid? No. And you will notice that actually other buildings in Madrid tend to have very flat roofs. Why? Because you can put some nice terraces up there, right? And then you can drink on your terrace and enjoy life. So, another, make you look smart to your friends and family. You can go around Madrid and see a slanted roof. You can say, I think that was built during the Austrian era. You'll probably be right. How cool is that? Now, the oldest building in Madrid is actually also in this little square. Can anyone detect which building it is? Hey, you guys are good, man. All right, yes, you're right. It's this tower right over here. This is the oldest building in Madrid. And actually, we can't see it that well from over here. When do you think it was built? Under who? You can get an indication if you look all the way up top. You see under the blue cover sheets, you can see the shape of the arcs. They're horseshoe shaped, like this. Under the Arabs, under the Moors. And this was built under the Moors, as I said, and guess what? It was built to be the tallest building in Madrid, in Madrid at the time. Yeah, so you can imagine how small everything else was. So that's Plaza de la Villa. We're gonna go and take our break now. You guys can get some churros con chocolate, you can get some beers, some tapas. This way. And here you go again. And here you go again. Guys, I just want to point that and here again, okay? It's really everywhere. It gets really creepy. There's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of factors going on. There's a lot of questions. All questions are and then I'm like, come on, guys. It's like 20 minutes later, right. The dog's like, God damn it. I get really entertained with that. Right. I don't think they're going anywhere though. It's the best when they cross over here.